Hello, dear friends from English Online Teaching. Actually, some advanced students have asked me to prepare something dealing with report speech in the news. The question is, in most cases, when do we use report speech? And mainly, we use it to report news. So, what about reported speech in the news and different examples that you may have? First, let's start with some definitions so as to understand reported speech better. To report is to give an account of, tell, or relate something to someone. Speech, exchange of spoken words, utterance, conversation, remark, formal address. That is to say that's why reported speech, because we give an account of spoken words. We give an account of a conversation. Reported speech or indirect speech. We use it to communicate to another person or group what somebody has said. No wonder you often see this in the news. For example, politician, colon quotation marks. This is direct speech. I have decided to run for president in next year's elections. In the news, the beleaguered politician said he would run for presidential office the following year. Okay? A reporter is a person whose job is to look for news and give an account of it in oral or written form. He or she can work for a newspaper, a radio station, a TV station, or nowadays eventually online. Different types of journalism. This is also very interesting. I have prepared this slide also to show different types of journalism because most students, after their high school, they would like to follow this career. Print, broadcast, photo, digital journalism, freelance, you work on your own, online, celebrity, sports, financial, environmental, fashion, political, citizen. Nowadays, citizen journalism or citizenship journalism is very common. Investigative, food. Journalists often conduct interviews to obtain information directly from a source or a key player in an event. This shows that they have done their research well. By doing so, they want their articles or news broadcasts to become more believable. The way a reporter uses a reporting verb will reveal his position as regards the information he or she is presenting to us. That's why we can divide some way or another reporting verbs into neutral, say, declare, announce, tell, state, mention, proclaim, reply, point, inform, explanatory, explain, clarify, define, expound, describe, illustrate, justify, demonstrate, interpret, elucidate, revelatory, reveal, confess, admit, accept, affirm, swear, agree, recognize, testify, assert, cautious, think, claim, allege, argue, assume, feel, guess, imagine, presume, suggest. Judgmental, argue, boast, contest, deny, refute, dispute, defend, warn, maintain, contradict. Neutral. This is when the verb is impartial and doesn't show any bias towards any position. The reporter is just relating exactly what was said without any judgment. Examples in context. The government spokesman said that the Minister of Health's plane would arrive later in the day. He declared that teachers would get their salary for following week. The manager has announced that the company is planning to expand its business nationwide and abroad. She told me that she was going to implement the measures. He stated that this was the truth. He mentioned that the Prime Minister was in a meeting and that would call us later for a special interview. Explanatory. This is when the verb introduces extra information. Thus, the reader, listener, or viewer learns more about the issue at hand. Examples. The firefighter explained how they had managed to stop the fire using local resources. The manager clarified his position, stating that he had been forced to take such drastic measures because of inflation. She defined the results as satisfactory since they had allowed the country to attract foreign investors from across the globe. He expounded his theory in simple and clear terms so that everybody was able to understand what it was all about. She describes her job as difficult and challenging. It is one of the toughest things I've ever done. Revelatory. This is when an element of truth is introduced. Previously unknown information or a secret is finally known, and this can be a big and well-paying scoop for the journalist or media outlet. Examples in context. He revealed that he was going to quit his ministerial job. She confessed that she had embezzled the company's funds. He admits that his job is extremely difficult and that his employers do not have the interests of their employees at heart. She accepted that she had erred and explained that she was looking for solutions to solve the problem. He swore that he would never do it again and that his alcohol rehabilitation days were over. I would advise you to play pause when you play this video so as to search for the words you don't understand or are new for you, okay? Especially using an English dictionary. Cautious. A reporter will use such verbs when the information is not 100% certain. This can be in the context of relating a piece of news provided by an untrustworthy source. These verbs can also be used when dealing with sensitive stories to avoid label cases. She thought that the company's funds had been mismanaged by the outgoing director. He claims that the elections are being rigged right now. She alleged that he had behaved in an inappropriate manner. He argues that the situation is about to change for the worse. They assume that the company is taking them for granted. A good exercise that I will give my students, specifically from fifth year at a private school, is to turn these sentences, which are already into indirect speech, into direct speech. Judgmental. You will certainly find such types of verbs in controversial news. The reporter will often show some bias and emotion, and his or her position on the subject can be easily guessed or known. She argued that the statement wasn't true and threatened to sue us if we published this in our newspaper. He boasted that he had made a lot of money while working for the government, but he did not explain how he had done it. They contested the fact that they had contributed to the downfall of the company. They denied that they had plunged the country into darkness. She refuted the news, saying that her words had been taken out of context. Some good adjectives for describing news. News can be objective, informative, descriptive, unbiased, impartial, subjective, partial, biased, unethical, damaging, groundbreaking, ethical, unreliable, reliable, horrifying, shocking, defamatory, misleading, eye-opening, epoch-making, scandalous, fear-mongering, misleading, historic, momentous, enlightening, incredible, vital, ridiculous, surprising, factual, great, incredible, good, great, serious, bad, slanderous, unbelievable, entertaining, exciting, or depressing. Well, I hope you liked this video, and I hope it's also useful for you and to decide, for example, if you would like to go in for journalism. Thank you very much for the video. See you.